Welcome back to episode 61. So in last week's video, you saw me do a leak down test. I've had a lot of comments about the leak down test. Basically, you all agree with me the engine's fine, so we're going to keep cracking on. This week what I need to do is start knocking off those little jobs that stop me putting the engine in. So there's a lot of those things like the heat shields and last things to check and tidy up before the engine goes in, because once it's in, it's staying in, or it's going to be in for a while. So please leave me comments if there's something you've not seen me do. I'm sure there's something, I don't know. I've just thought of one more, which is I need to inspect the windscreen motor area, that sort of recess where that sort of bits and bobs sit. Check what's in there and make sure everything's okay, because once the engine's in, I can't stand in there and get to it very easily. Anyway, as ever, thank you so much for subscribing and watching. Click the like button, leave me comments. But for now, let's just jump in and see how I got on this week. Right, so what we've got here then is my original aircon pump wrapped up and put away into a box. I've just taken it out. I've got an aircon pump that one of you guys gave me a little while ago that has been in the box. I've just pulled it out so we can do a little comparison. And then I've got the frame that this sits in that I had powder coated a little while back. I won't take it out completely. Actually no, we will, because I want to check the mounting to ensure it all sits on it. So that's sort of looking quite nice, powder coated. That can be ready to go back on the car. But let's unwrap this now and see what this looks like. What I'm really interested in is it a direct swap for that? If it is, that would be very handy. Let's get it oriented roughly in the same direction. Obviously it has different pipes, it's got the pipes attached. Just trying to see what's what on it. So this has some connectors. Different of where it attaches to the frame. It may be that it just, it's from the wrong year. I think this is more from one of the later cars. If it did fit, the mounting is just completely different. I think that might be a stretch too far to try and get that one to fit, and we might be back to just getting this one either reconditioned or something, maybe just replaced. Yeah, I'm not sure at the moment. We'll have a look at that though. Right, after a quick scrape off, we can now actually see the numbers of this, which I'll take a quick photo of. I want to look up it, understand what we're actually dealing with. This one's relatively seized up, and I think it's where it's just become so gunked up with crud and things going inside. Now I'm going to look at whether I can send these away or whether they're worth just replacing. I did think about just deleting the aircon altogether at this moment until I get further down the line and decide, yeah, let's do aircon on this. But let's not discount it for the minute. I get some penetrating fluid in. I think it's just become so gunked up. I assume that's where the turning is. Yeah, I can't turn it at all at the moment. Assuming it turns there, I'm not sure what turns where. But we'll load it up with this stuff and see what happens. Okay, this is as far as I've got with the aircon pump. I've managed to take off the pipes that go on there. This is jammed solid, and what I've been doing is just I've taken out the nut on the end, so theoretically all of this assembly should just pull off, but it's absolutely frozen solid. So what I've been doing is working my way around it with, let's just wipe up a bit of fluid. What I've been doing is working my way around it with as a bolster, really, like this, just tapping along the edge of the groove for where the belt would go, so I know that rotates, and theoretically if it rotates it probably comes off. And what we've got now is a tiny bit of movement, so that is being successful. I'm not sure if I can actually prove it. It's very hard to get any sort of force on it, especially this junky old bench I'm using here. Let's see if I can get any. There, right, okay, so it's just starting to turn now. That's the most I've had. Okay, so what I'm going to do, I'm going to keep trying to free it up. In the background, I'm looking for a company that reconditions these in the UK. And also for used second-hand ones, or new. I mean, ultimately, I just need a Aircon pump. I think I'll do a bit of research online, just see what else is out there. Maybe there's an alternative Mercedes one or something like that. But I'm pretty sure we'll get there in the end. So I finally managed to get the end of the pulley off of the air conditioner pump. I don't really want to touch it because it's oily. If I can. So you can see the bearing's completely gone. It's sort of the balls are just floating around wherever. So what I need to decide is whether I try to put a new bearing in there and resurrect the old girl, or scrap it and basically buy a new one. Well, I'm not actually planning to gas the aircon anyway, so it's a little bit, I don't know, maybe nearly pointless, but I feel I should put it on, and then that can be a future project, you know, next summer or something. Right, the other area I want to look at before I even contemplate the engine going in is the torque tube. So the best advice I can hear from inspecting the torque tube is to spin it and see if it makes any noise. Now, mine is silent. Let's move it out of the way. I can hear the bearings working, but it's very, very quiet, which I'm hoping is a good sign. From the videos I've watched online, I can hear fluid sloshing around down there somewhere, which I assume is oil. Let's hope. But there's no noise at all, no grumbling, nothing. I can move that back and forwards, but I think that's correct because it's not attached to anything. It's not the tube going back and forwards, it's just this plate, flex plate. So when I change direction, I can hear the sort of small noise of the gears, but very minimal. Let me know what you think about that. I think that's good. That to me says don't take me apart, but I'd love to know what you guys say, whether that's a good sign or whether I have to have the whole thing out. The Porsche brake system seems to be the job that never stops giving. I'm hoping I'm down to the very last job now, which is basically putting the pad wear sensors on. So I've got 4 new sensors. Typically, the connectors don't match up with what's on the wiring loom, so I need to snip them off or decide what to do with that, fit the new connectors and get on with it. So that's one of the last remaining jobs before I can put the wheels on. Put the wheels on, I can lower this back down onto the ground, and then we can put the engine in. Right, well, there's no going back now. I have cut the cable. So this is the passenger side. Let's get my tools ready. This is the passenger side brake wear sensor. I've cut it a little bit further up because there's quite a lot of wire here. You can see how brittle the casing on the wiring loom is. So all I've done then is I've put the new brake pad wear sensor through the firewall, whatever you call it, this side of the engine bay. Put the clips on, so that's ready to have its connector put on. Now all I need to do, they're 2 female, so now all I need is 2 male on this side for my wire strippers. So we'll quickly wire strip. Okay, right, that should do that. Now, all we need to do now is fit it all together. Let me get rid of the soldering iron. So I don't burn myself. Stay there. So the kits, we have this piece, which we just need to get it round the right way, and they lock in place. So let's hope it's that way around. Right, finally managed to push that in. I just need to push a little bit further. Then all you do now is push down the red connector inside. That kind of locks it all in place, like that, and connect the two up. And that's pretty much it. Like that. And there is our waterproof connector. What I'm going to do though is disconnect, and I want to thread it around the brake pressure regulator, or at least come behind, let's come behind that pipe there. There. Right. That's two done. Now just the two back ones to do. Right, I've turned my focus now to the aircon pump, to power steering pump, which I think is serviceable. I just want to take it apart so I can basically protect and clean up all of these bits. This needs painting, this needs cleaning up. I want that undone. It's done up tight. So I'm going to apply some heat. I've put some penetrating fluid in there a little while ago. Apply heat, penetrating fluid, cycle it for a little while, and then I'm hoping it will just come undone. Well, it's actually quite a bit easier than I thought. I mean, it did take some muscle, not going to lie, but it wasn't too bad. I would like to have had a thinner spanner here on this locking nut at the bottom. That made it a bit tricky, but we got it there in the end. So, let's take her apart. I'll tap that off, it's probably corroded on. We can get this plate off, clean this up, paint this, and just get it looking back to some kind of normality. And then we can start talking about putting it back on the car. Now the power steering pipes are all sorted. I've done those, I did those actually quite a while ago, and they're all attached to the engine cross member. Let's see if that'll just tap off now for us. It doesn't look like it will. Okay, let's try a pulley puller on this. I think I've only ever used this pulley puller once in anger for the right job. I think that was getting the harmonic balancer off of the engine, I think. Every other time I've used it, it's been more of an abusive use to try and get something to push on something, I think. It's always been slightly the opposite way around. If it doesn't want to come off, I don't want to go upsetting it. So it is under quite a bit of tension. I can see it is deforming the pulley, so I think we call that quits on that. Right, I've just popped in the two missing exhaust studs here and here, these two. I'm going to quickly clean up the existing ones, just sort of see what state they're in. Right, I'm going to run a nut up and down there just to check the thread's okay. I'll be honest, I don't have the energy to drill out one of these should it shear off with me trying to extract it, so I'm hoping they're going to be okay. Certainly those first, 5 look decent. This one looks a little bit dubious, but I'll put a nut on him and we'll see what he's like. Right, so I've checked over. It's not the best thread in the world, but I think it'll be fine. I mean, it's going to have to be fine because I really don't want to go through the trauma of taking that off. So I'm putting the sort of gaskets on, and what I want to do is just sort of fit the exhaust manifold up there and just check that it fits and it's looking good. ahead of me getting this sandblasted. I really want to get these sandblasted, but it's all about preparation, isn't it? So I just want to make sure that I'm not going crazy and that it all fits. I've actually even luckily managed to get the right one, haven't I? That was a sheer fluke. I've scrubbed this with the wire wheel on the drill. It's come up a bit better, but I really would like it sandblasted. And I don't know whether I can powder coat exhaust. So I'm going to have a quick look online now. But that is another step closer. Let's put one nut either side just to stop it dropping on the floor. And we have ourselves an exhaust manifold. Pretty cool. Right, another one of those sort of closing up jobs, getting the heat shields in. And just looking, that's going to be pretty tricky to get in actually, typically. Okay, let's have a go. The shiny new heat shields are in. Look pretty good. Right, I think I'm out of time again this week. Lots of things started. So we've got the, let me have a think. We checked the torque tube, really happy to see it, that looks good. Let me know in the comments if I'm wrong with that, but that seems super silky smooth. Heat shields are back on. The brakes are, well, I've still got the rear ones to do, but at least the front end, I've got everything done. So I can put the wheels on and I can take it off the axle stands, get it back on the floor ready for the engine to go in. I'd like to get the back down as well, really, I think, when the engine goes in, just so I know it can't sort of get rocked around and pulled off the axle stands. Power steering pump is, at least we've started looking at it. Same with the aircon. It looks like I've got to replace the aircon pump, so I need to work out what to do with that. That's a bit trickier. Something I didn't show you was I finally got the little bolts that put these, I don't know what it's called, but they protect the rubber caps that go on top of the bolts that hold the cam carriers on. I've put those in, nice black Allen head bolts, look really good. Anyway, let's wrap up. Thank you as ever for watching. Stay with me on the journey. Click the subscribe button, the like button, all of that stuff, and I'll see you next week.